If they say to you, oh, I never bothered looking at Crawford, they're lying. It's his role. I'm renting it from him at the moment, but it's his role. It always will be. What's really exciting about this version is the show's been around for 32 years. Okay, so it's been around as long as I've been alive. There are certain ways of doing things that were amazing in the 80s that, you know, were kind of cool in the 90s and were good in the 2000s, and now that we're in the 2010s, it's just like, So they've updated it. Not that the show's ever been, but the technology available to us now means that they've added all sorts of technological advancements that keep the show state of the art. A lot less hand cranking, everything is far more digitized. The scenes are slicker, they happen much faster now. Our chandelier is now the fastest. So I'm not going to tell you why that matters, because some people don't know the show, but at the end of Act 1 there's something really cool that happens that is better with speed. The show, the first time we ran it, we've got lots of people in the cast who've done the show before. And even they were going, I've never seen it look like that before or sound like this. We've got a new orchestration that sounds incredible. We have a wonderful conductor. You know, it makes such a difference. A lot of shows are tracked now. And we have a conductor conducting the orchestra right there. Everything is as people know Phantom. It's the original production, but just shiny. We went into rehearsal, and for reasons that are not necessary to go into now, our Phantom got sick. And we had our first preview, and they came to me at the end of that first preview and they said, look, our Phantom's going to step out for a while. Would you be interested in being the Phantom indefinitely? When I woke up, I was the Phantom. And I went on, and from that on, our Phantom left the production eventually. 32 years on Broadway means something. It has to, you know. Musicals that get lucky don't run for 32 years. Musicals that mean something do. And I think the answer is very simple. Phantom's become an heirloom that families pass down through generations. I was one of those kids. I got it as a, you know, when I was 5 or 6, I got it as a gift that was passed down by my grandfather. The music is timeless. I think the fact that it's not set in a relatable time helps. It's far away from our reality. But it's passed on through generations. It's become part of theatrical initiation, I suppose. If you haven't seen a Broadway show, 9 times out of 10, people take their kids to Phantom. Above that, it's a story about what makes us human in the first place. It's about love. Who doesn't have an opinion on that? Who hasn't been touched by that? Who hasn't experienced that? Or been denied that. People who don't know the story, who don't know anything, have the same reaction as the fans who've watched it from day one. That means something. And it doesn't matter what language the show's in. That's what's so amazing. It doesn't matter. That means something. There's enough in this role that I could play this for 10 years and still never get it right. There's so many layers, there's so much there that you never get it 100% right in every performance. It's so addictive that you want to try again and get it right. And then you have 96% and it doesn't happen, and then you try again. My next dream role, please God, will be written for me when I meet the composer one day. I had 2 people that inspired me for different reasons. Number 1, anybody who plays this role, if they say to you, oh, I never bothered looking at Crawford, they're lying. It's his role. I'm renting it from him at the moment, but it's his role. It always will be. So inevitably there are things about him that just come out in the music. Even if you just think of the first lines of music, the Nighttime Sharpens, everybody does it, goes, nighttime. That's Michael Crawford. It's written that way because of the way he did it. So you have to defer to that in some way. There will always be elements of Crawford in every Phantom. I don't care what anybody says. The other person that inspired me was Leonard Bernstein, the conductor, because I'm obsessed with hands. And he expresses music through his hands all the time. And there's a scene in the show where it's just my hands. Everything else is covered up. I'm in a big cloak with a hood. And that's all you have to express to the audience. And without realizing it, when I watched footage of myself later, when the director said, I just want to show you something, I was doing Bernstein without even realizing it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that, it's so funny what comes to the surface. So consciously Crawford, subconsciously Leonard Bernstein. I think it would be easy to say, why shouldn't they? The reason why they shouldn't is they shouldn't give in to the hype that's been around for 32 years. They shouldn't see what everybody else is talking about. And they shouldn't come and sit in one of the most beautiful opera houses I've ever seen and watch one of the most perfect shows for this venue. Reasons they should? Very simple, it's Phantom of the Opera.